Well, everybody's here.
Yeah.
We are. And it feels great. It is Friday. We get the opportunity to sidestep into Bethany, which, well, has its own sorts of issues. Is everyone ready to hit the ground running? Or do we have any questions, suggestions, hypotheses, or corners we need to round off before we dive in and hang on with both hands?
What did I do last time?
I believe
Bro.
we just finished planning to murder the prince in his own hotel.
Oh, cool.
No, not necessarily. Okay, so what we assumed is that Mary could go on sort of fun adventure by yourself. You guys are so fucking close. But we went to the casino and got given a suite by Mary. And then we were told promptly after getting that lovely suite that the new operating orders, the new marching orders were to cut off their financials by making sure they could make no further money, and that the people that were providing the money for the Tremere and others were the casino and its owner.
Uh-huh.
And we took that to mean that we had to ice oh boy, but I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe we just burn the casino down somehow. As long as they can make no further money from it, we have accomplished our thing that we're supposed to be doing. Because obviously,
Hear me out. Bank
Uh-huh.
casino bank heist. Yeah.
Stealing their money is not going to help anything because then they chase us. Burning the bitch to the ground is.
I thought we were supposed to find allies here, but I guess.
Hey, your
We
boss
originally-
said.
Yeah, we came with the intention of finding allies, and Miri was like, nah, bae.
Nah.
I got something better for you to do.
Nice.
Yeah. I think our vague plan was Joji is going to try to beat the bank at cards, and hopefully that'll get us a meeting with the head guy, and then we can set him on fire.
Sounds entirely reasonable.
And while you were mentally away, you were physically there on autopilot because when we last left, Annabelle, she was actually with everyone as they were moving into the garage and blah, 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 blah. So, to set the scene before we dive in, to bring everyone into sharp focus of where these protagonists of our hearts and minds actually are. The suite is the definition of high roller luxury. It is a callback to a differing time in American history when money meant, well, the same thing that it means now, but for far less. The inflationary aspect of it was not a factor. If you had $100,000, you were effectively a millionaire. If you had $1 million, you were effectively a billionaire during the time where this was the epitome of American luxury. And this suite reminds you of that. This suite, designed as it is to, in spirit, bind the elements of air, earth, and water under the power of the moon, because, well, you know, a good moon reflects and responds back to the silver of the mirror. It was designed and built with a craftsmanship and care that bordered on Michelangelo Buonarroti's skill and imagination as to what the future might bring. It is the epitome of royalty in a modern time. There are several hidden and obvious occult aspects, from the wall of mirrors to the view that allows you to see the flow of the land and water of the river. You can see across from where you are, across the river into Bossier. You can feel the wind if you exit out onto the balcony. You are miles and miles and stratas above the average gambler, tourist, entertainment seeking mortal, which are filling the place with their hopes, their dreams, their fantasies, and oftentimes, in fact, wagering their very future livelihoods and lives, all in worship of the American God, money. And as you all have settled into this suite, as you all have understood what it is that is abounding around you, the elevator opens, the private elevator opens, and a medical team, emergency response team steps out of that elevator. 20 strong with enough equipment to save anyone. It is as close to necromantic resurrection as you could possibly have. 2 minutes from Lita exiting the phone, they were stepping off the elevator to the second. A full surgery suite, emergency medicine. It is a veritable miracle. And with them, in preparation of the potential worst outcome, is a cleaning crew, and not just, housekeeping, not just maintenance, but a cleaning crew that would make sure that there is no forensic information to be found later. And with the weight of that luxury, with the weight of that money, with the weight of all of that dancing in the ether around the characters, allow me to be the first to say thank you all for being here. And without a shadow of a doubt, this is The Dark of Bethany, Episode 3. Forgotten Horrors in Remembered Moments. If you were to turn your ear to the soundtrack playing for these characters, the tempo has reached 160 beats per second. It is an intense moment because while you all have the pressures of the beast, you have the promises you've given to Mirrory, you also have 24 mortals who are connected with, operating within the purview, and technically in every way except for officially stated, the property of this hotel casino. Exiting into the private suite where you all are. That ding of the elevator set the timer aflutter. It's dancing and vibrating on the counter, letting you know time is up, time is up, time is now. And so, though it doesn't need to be said, I will anyway. What is it that you all are up to?
Seeing this host of medical, he just kind of looks over to the group and is like, I think you might have been a little bit too vague.
No, possibly not. I'm after some blood packs. I can probably get them to spare a couple.
Okay, well, he just kind of gestures off to the medical team. If you can get it out of them.
That was the plan.
And what volume are you all having this aside?
This is primarily whispering. I don't know how loud I'm coming through for you. That's the main quandary that I'm dealing with.
Um,
Yeah,
very,
that he was
in
gonna go
character,
take.
very
So.
quietly is the idea, right?
What?
In character, we're trying to be very quiet.
Yeah, it was basically like the intention. At least with my statement. I don't know if you guys want to be somewhat loud.
No, trying to be circumspect.
Gotcha. All right. Well, yeah. Basically, he's just gesturing off to them as like, get what you need out of them. Also, hey, can you score me a little something, something? I'm also kind of fucking ravenous.
Do you need fresh?
I don't really care.
I mean, can you eat blood bags?
He kind of cringes as you present this possibility before him. He's like, I can, but I would really not like to.
Well, they said it was possible to get an escort, but you'd have to go to another part of the casino, I think.
Okay, well, whatever. I'll do what I have to do in order to get this fucking dealt with, because I'm not feeling so hot.
Well,
Anyways, they're just standing there looking at us, so go talk to them.
I
And
walk
that
over.
is literally exactly what is happening. You have a top of the line medical emergency staff with surgeons, anesthesiologists. You have the full spectrum of modern elite medical concierge care, and they're literally staring at you all. The four of you all standing there as they are loaded and laden with medical equipment, mobile x-rays and PET scans and CAT scans and domes for isolation, and they're not quite mouth agape. Thankfully, thanks to medical school, they are able to keep their semblance of decorum, but it very much is
Something's going on here. I mean, again, still quietly, it's like these people are cleaning up after somebody. Clearly.
I'm pretty sure I gave them the list of Joji's requests for what he said he needed.
octane alcohol in need of medical attention because you mentioned blood. So, as per their high rollers, they came with a suite of personnel ready to attend to that, and the odd request for a list of sucralose stepchildren is still part of their carrying cases, and they have the list that was handed off to them by the concierge. But it's still one of those, what the fuck is going on? Especially as India was saying something and she stopped, and so now you have this tall, buxomous cowgirl princess looking from one to the other of you all, while they expected a body, a cardiac arrest, and something that needed surgery, something shoved someplace that it shouldn't have been and gotten stuck. They are accustomed to certain etiquettes, certain emergencies. And this, with the four of you all, especially as Lita's quite attractive. Not in the way that you would normally assume. Well, most people would normally assume. There's always at least one monster fucker in every group. However, Lita is not the average American male or female's idea of living. She is thin. She's relatively emaciated. She very much looks corpse-like, which is hidden typically by her mask, which, well, she hasn't had in about 2 episodes. Well, is very much an astute personage. So as she's standing there looking as if she should be sitting in some comfy chair with a clipboard and asking questions, it is out of place for the usual high roller suite. And you have Joji, who very much looks like a Latinx Lothario, who, sure, I can fix that for you. And while I fix that, allow me to remove my shirt so that I don't get my sweat over my things. And he glistens in the sun, and before you know it, your daughter or your wife has run off with him to some place far flung from where you are. But those stairs are a hell of a fix. He even managed to sign it in a way you didn't think was possible. Craftsmanship is impeccable. And it's okay being alone and losing the love of your existence to someone who is as skilled with carpentry as that.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot that I'm so fucking wrapped up in the grains of this that I probably don't even pay attention to the entry of these guys.
Something is the same. While you are in fact in a high roller suite, the high roller suite, courtesy of Mirrory and whatever it is that she's been doing out there and is doing out there, you all don't look to be the usual fools.
Yep.
You don't look like a rich cattle baron. You don't look like an oil man. You don't look like a Fortune 100 company CEO or CFO who's here to spend someone's annual salary just because. You don't look the part.
Well, that's very judgmental.
It's also incredibly accurate.
Anyway, I'll go talk to them, I guess. Yes, I was the one who called for the medical assistance. I have a blood disorder that requires transfusions occasionally.
Oh, a simple transfusion. Is that all? All right. Well, have a sit down. We can get you all sorted. What is your blood type, or do you need us to type you up?
I'm AB negative, universal receiver.
Oh, that's handy.
Yes, we've got just the thing for you. We've managed to find a way with modern technology. Have a seat, take a load off. The rest of you all, you can go ahead about your way. I'm sure I can handle this singly. There is that matter you need to deal with on 11. And while you're doing that, the pamphlet, the brochure that they gave us, yes, all right. And he takes the brochure and he hands it to you, Lita, as he's ushering you to sit down as your universal receiver. It means that he only needs one container of blood. Unlike the huge rolling cart filled with various things that, well, it's hard for you all being in and around the community and not knowing how much that cart that he takes that one doctor's satchel out of is approximately worth. You all know the average size of the fractionated blood packs. You all know how many could potentially fit in a rolling cart such as that, especially as they are prepared for a multiplicity of needs when it comes to blood. So in that rolling cart that is being rolled back to the elevator, it's hard not seeing that as a fortune. It's hard not, even if you personally could never stomach a drought of that fractionated rot gut, you know the street value of what's being rolled back to the elevator.
Mm.
It's just kind of that moment of, oh man, how desperate am I? Do you, how many liters does that hold?
Who do you ask? The doctor who's trying to get Lita to settle down, look at the brochure, and get her set up for a transfusion? Or the person rolling the cart back?
So there is just the doctor and the person rolling the cart currently, right?
The other 18 who are moving back to the elevator as he can handle it himself. Not to
Yep.
mention the 4 cleaners. But yeah.
Okay. So there's an entire host moving with this cart. Oh man, I think in this instance I'm just going to have to I'm gonna have to settle with the fucking doctor, I think. As he's just kind of making small talk with the doctor while the other people are wheeling them away. Man, how many liters does that thing hold?
Oh, that. Well, it's vacuum sealed inside, so it's larger inside than it is outside. Of course, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Though not as much as you think. With vacuuming out all of the the pressure, we're able to store more safely than we have in other situations. That cart is actually pressure sensitive. So while normally we'd only be able to store 49 and a half full bags, with that cart, we're able to get almost 60 inside.
Oh wow. He just kind of blanks for a moment as his head wraps around that. You ever had an occasion where you need that many?
Yes, we have. There was a boy band through here, about 3 weeks ago. Older fellows, they were popular back during the olden times of the mid 90s, and well, those gentlemen are no longer boys, to say the least. And well, the amount of drugs that they've done and depleting, well, I don't want to gossip.
I see. Well, that's rather unfortunate, I suppose, though fortunate for the company.
It is surprisingly not as bad as people think, considering that with the transfusion, you can fairly well flush most of the obliterative damage and ablative damage of excess drug use out fairly quickly. One of the worst kept secrets in medicine. Someone who is very nearly overdosing, but not quite overdosing, can receive a boost to their sobriety with, transfusing their tainted and chemical-laden blood with that's not.
Does it require any kind of specialized mechanism to do that, or is it really just sticking the needle in and letting the body do its work?
A good portion of it is the body healing itself with the fresh influx. However, you have to do it slowly as well. There is shock that comes from large transfusions.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'd imagine that it being a closed system, it doesn't really take too kindly to massive intake.
No, it's one of the most costly aspects is the time.
And just kind of when everyone has cleared out and the doctor is like prepping to give his infusion to Lita, God, how the fuck does Joji hunt? Give me a moment. I've got to look at what my standard core is here.
Okay. Bye.
I'm reading the brochure.
While prostitution is in fact illegal in the bulk of Louisiana, there are special dispensations for various psychological and sociological needs, such as a intimacy counselor. There are various physical therapies that involve release. And those are what's being offered in the brochure. Veiled prostitution under the banner of psychological and physiological need. It's in effect a medical process instead of a sexual one. There is a doctor listed there that you know is 100% a pseudonym. Dr. McGillicuddy, a vivaciously buxom blonde who looks like Lorena Swift, even dressed in a white coat and green shirt to give you the idea of mange. There is a Jennifer Grey, spelled exactly like Grey's Anatomy, who is wearing an off-the-shoulder, open-collared sweatshirt in the headshot, curly-haired and a illogically hung stethoscope. Why would you need a stethoscope to be an intimacy counselor? Then there's there's Dr. Duffy, who very much looks your typical 80s heartthrob, big blown out permed pseudo fro with an open collar shirt and chest hair waving at you in the headshot. There's the bearded Scottish Dr. John, huge beard, balding head, but the sort that looks as if, well, he know how to find his way in a fight, if you know what I mean. It is clear what it is, even though it's labeled as something completely legal. A difference without a distinction.
So, it occurs to me that Joji may or may not be the kind of guy that runs people down. And we are all aware of the physicality, or lack thereof, for Joji. So, may not is kind of the situation here. But my boy Hungy, and there isn't. Let me see. How hungy is he in comparison to his? Okay. There is still planning going into it, so I think. Yeah, I think basically we're just gonna wait and vibe until the doctor is distracted and occupied with something, and then try to subtly take advantage of that. Because I know if brother sticks a needle into Lita and tries to infuse, it's really gonna do nothing for her but waste the blood bag.
Okay.
Can you just point out one
So
thing?
that
I know
being
I'm
the
not
case-
in there,
No, what's up?
Mm-hmm.
but she has a brochure of movable snacks.
Yes,
In
but
her
she
hand.
hasn't pointed that out to Joji.
And I'm not
Yeah.
there.
I pass the brochure over to Joji. I think he
Yes,
might.
he's
might
like
thing.
giving fucking hungry wolf eyes to the doctor from behind him while he's prepping things. Lita just kind of here you go. He tastes. He's like, oh, what is? Oh.
So are you saying that while he's chatting up the doctor and making small talk with the doctor, that he's there with Hungry eyes.
Yeah, basically. It may be misconstrued for wanting to fuck him, but Joji definitely has that gleam on him. As Lita hands it over, he just goes, oh! Okay, that's, how do I put in an order?
An order? Oh, and then he looks literally from your shoes up your pants towards your waist and back down and slightly, very passively shakes his head. I understand. There's some amount of clear to him as he does so, as he says so. I believe that if you reach out to the concierge with your particular selection, that they'll send them towards you.
There's, like, a part of Joji, a very small part, it's growing louder, but a very small part of Joji that is incredibly offended at this pitiable kind of tone of voice, this, bless your heart, that's going on. And there's a much, at this point, louder part that is just telling him, shut up, move along, it's okay. Because, all things considered, this man's assessments are incredibly accurate. Thank
Adding
you.
a little bit of weight to the moment. Here's the thing that, well, Lita, what's your wits?
That's a good question. I think it's 2.
Okay, and what is your subterfuge?
Bad. Let me see. I think it's a 1.
And Annabelle?
I have no subterfuge.
Oh, okay, so that makes sense. Lita is 100% oblivious to what was laid down right in front of her. It's literally one of those situations where bedroom eyes are being sent back and forth in the small talk of Joji talking, chatting up the doctor in the most innocent of ways. Well, not really innocent, as Joji was chatting the fellow up to penetrate him, but not in the way that the doctor expected.
Yeah, he's definitely into you.
And Lita, completely oblivious to the pheromones wafting off the doctor like a blast furnace, equally as oblivious as Joji, who, yeah, I want to get into you, but not the way that you're thinking.
But you know he'd still like it.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is the same. The question as to what Joji, Annabelle, India, and Lita are going or have set their minds to is what sits there in front of us. The doctor clearly despondent with the chatting ending and the request for a intimacy counselor.
Annabelle's gonna like sidle up to Joji and just like whisper, he's into you. The doctor is into you.
Just the double take is he's like, what? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Go for
Well,
it.
that's useful. And then he's just like, here, if I suppose I have my path to victory, I guess. He hands the brochure over to her. I guess if you need it.
I wouldn't mind.
All right. And just kind of loudly at this point, he's like, here you go, Annabelle. I asked the doctor about it for you. And he hands over the brochure just as a kind of sly, oh no, it wasn't for me.
Annabelle doesn't laugh somehow.
And then I guess I'm just going to. So, anyways, where did you get your degree? And then go down the line of intellectually seducing this doctor so I can get my feet on. Because, of course, we are the big-brained players out here, my bros. Let us go. May not have a six-pack, but my brain do ripple.
Your brain don't dribble, it folds. So as you, Joji, how's your way with the doctor? There's very little chance that the doctor would make it to the elevator, even if he knew what was going on before you had the opportunity of having your way with him. And as Lita takes the fractionated, relatively disgusting blood bag and begins slurping it down as if it was a Capri Sun. What are Annabelle and India doing?
Annabelle the cannibal.
Annabelle is gonna page through the brochure, pick somebody cute.
Okay. Depending on how long it took, I think India would have had her bath and come out smelling cute and in a big fluffy robe, pausing to look over Annabelle's shoulder. Ooh, that one. Can we get him?
Oh, do you want to share?
Yeah, sure. I'm not super hungry.
Yeah, me neither. I mean,
And then I noticed, oh shit. What are we gonna do with that?
Joji is currently brain fucking him effectively. The two are having an engaged conversation about science and technology, which originally was used as a ploy to get into his pants. But Joji has literally got a flaw. Fixation technology, so here we are.
oh, I think he'll be fine.
I guess that's
Get my
what we
head
do
down.
for the moment. We call down to the concierge with our choice for said evening and check on the ordering of said clothes because we were going to get fancy outfits so that we fit in better when we go take all their money before we burn this bitch to the.
All of those things are well in hand. It is literally easier to obtain frocks worth several $100,000, to obtain blazers equal to the value of a new car. It is literally impossibly easy. The concierge being spotting absolutely perfect, well, nearly absolutely perfect in nearly absolutely every way, ensuring that the fulfillment of the request happens promptly down to the second. Oh, yes, that's quite all right. They'll be with you in approximately 2 minutes. Or, I'm sorry, the seamstress is actually on break. They will be with you in 10 minutes. And we'll send up several selections to, of course, be billed to your room, of course. So would you like to pay for this set? Oh, quite understandable. And literally, to the second, the guests arrive. The cleaners have left. The medical staff has left. The doctor is lounging in the chair, depleted, though in a way that, in their mind, they did something unethical.
Yeah.
In their mind, they very much tiptoed right at the very edge of that Hippocratic oath. Not that their patient was who they spent time with, but Joji is clearly a relation to the poor, damaged, frail woman, i.e., Lita, who is surprisingly bright of mouth and red of lip. And he hasn't put it together yet because the fugue of the kiss keeps him completely oblivious to what's actually happening around him. But he is dealing with the feeling of very nearly violating his integrity. He feels as if he has. The pleasure that coursed through him, every neuron firing off, was life altering. Time, several changes of clothes and selections, and the intimacy counselor thinking that they can lead you all through, properly expressing yourself. Because, you need to understand that your yoni is yours specifically, but it vibrates on a level that connects with every other yoni around the world. And that pseudo-scientific almost that is literally just a way for you all to get inside his veins. Normally it's for the ladies of the house to get inside his pants. And while he knows that he always does a great job, and it feels different. He feels as if for the first time in doing this job for the last 6 years that he's actually found love, that he's actually been loved in a way that makes everything else pale by comparison.
Huh.
I'm sure Annabelle and
why.
India have given him the night of his fucking life.
I'm not gonna lie. The idea of an intimacy counselor is just very odd to me.
Well, that's because you need a lot of therapy that you don't have.
I suppose, yeah. No, very much so. Thank you. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Welcome, dear.
Leave it to the psychiatrist character to be like, yeah, no, go get some psychiatry.
Have you considered the fact you are deeply damaged?
Well, I suppose after they finish their business, they'll reconnoiter and just Joji very much in a more and I know we don't fuck with these things, but what would you say is Joji's overall mood right now, Nobu?
Well, funny you should ask. Both of the persons involved were largely cold professionals, the counselor as well as the doctor. They've seen things that would cause the soul of most individuals to cringe and recoil. They have been through the fires of excess. They deal with the rich assholes on a near nightly basis, sometimes twice on Sundays. So they entered into this moment with very low expectations of the humanity of those that they would be dealing with and associating with. There's no such thing as an ethical millionaire, billionaire, or worse. There's no such thing as that. So underneath it all, there's always that cold, predatory aspect that they are accustomed to, inured to. And when you all approached them with interest and honesty and authenticity and didn't display any of that obvious monstrousness, you threw them for a loop. You had the playbook, looked through the playbook, threw the playbook away, and yet and still managed to score. It is a sublimely sanguine moment that umami feel, because the expression of joy and passion in the way that they believe they express the joy and passion of the moment, being caught off guard, being in this authentic moment, well, you all are, everyone except for Lita, is caught in that moment, because there are very few moments in your life that something happens unexpectedly and yet turns out for the best. For them in that moment, after the kiss, during the kiss, they are It's an unexpected pleasure. It is an unexpected miracle. It is something that has managed to shake them to the core of their essence because that level of connection is not something that they have experienced either ever or in a very long time.
All right. And then there's Lita, who just had their moment with a bag.
Yeah.
Praise be into silicone. All right, so, yeah, no, Joji's gonna approach the group in a very, very good mood, and just, all right, are we ready to get this show on the road then?
Well, the question is, how are you all dressed after the tailors, the seamsters, the choice of ensembles that were brought up, laid out, altered, and tailored for you all? How are you all dressed? What finery did you all find and choose for yourselves?
I like to imagine that Joji's understanding of finery and stuff like that was more so informed by his sire. And so, what circles did his sire run through? Was she a far more, I would say, professional woman in her entertainments, or was she one of those new age grungy kids?
It's funny you should ask. Because right at this very moment, several hundred miles away from where Joji is, Kaylin Ellis, in her monochromatic burgundy shirt, the collar crisply pressed, her gold necklace of the sun sitting in the middle of her chest. The burgundy is dark enough that from any distance and under anything but the most direct of light, everyone assumes is black. Her long, inky, almost oily black hair hanging well coiffed over the, most people would say it's like Gayabara style shirt, and on her form, allowing it to hang and drape properly so that you know that there are curves there. There's warmth and, well, those dark, alluring eyes beneath that curtain of hair, those full lips that you ache to have speak your name. She stands shoulder to shoulder with Ru Shang. They are listening as Acer Gray and Donnie, the Ravnos Primogen of Las Vegas, sit and plan on how best to stop whatever those lunatics are doing at that hotel. Whatever Adut is involved in needs to be shut down. He already controls the flow of blood into Vegas. Last thing he needs is a direct and consistent pipeline outside of the usual measures. At least within the usual measures of the circulatory system, they can track his inventory, they can track his stock, they can keep him from becoming as dangerously powerful as he constantly threatens himself to be. Something needs to be done. Something more direct. Because Benedict won't. Benedict doesn't care. He's still in mourning over whatever happened to Montrose. Kaylin steps forward with a plan on how to kill Adut without ever vanquishing him from this planet. He doesn't get a chance to rest. He doesn't get a chance for his soul to move on to something either eternally pleasurable or eternally painful. As insane as the Russian is, both are too good for him. So here's what we need to do.
I see. Now remember this, kids, because he likes to drop hints across the fucking board. So we got to remember this come next week. But no, with that understanding of the far more elegant style that she likes to take, I imagine not quite in the full suit, like jacketed regalia. Like he's not wearing a tux or anything. But very much the vest, the rolled up sleeve, white shirt underneath. I'm imagining kind of a nice soft green for the, not soft so much as like a nice verdant. There we go, verdant green for the vest color, matching it with the pants, just as a deviation from standard black, but not so much that it would be considered gaudy or atrocious. That kind of look.
Are you sure he's not wearing a Hawaiian shirt?
No, fuck no. No, that is an entirely different character. As Ryan stumbles out of the hallway, just complete flip-flopped shorts and his Hawaiian shirt, just like, well, how the fuck did I get here? No, very much the scholarly and yet elegant look is what he's going for.
Lita,
Yeah.
how dost thou dress this evening?
I'm looking for a lot of coverage, possibly even a veil, since my mask is apparently missing.
Are you going with the full wedding dress, the morning dress? How are you ensuring that your veil seems not out of place?
Fashionable Islamic kind of wear is what I'm going for, I think.
Oh, I actually never considered how useful like a hijab style would be for a kindred trying to hide supernatural features in a socially like benign outfit. Because like going around in sunglasses and a hat, you're gonna have people fucking looking at you. But that's actually an incredibly useful piece of attire. I'm sorry, that just like sparked something in my head.
No, it's great.
Well, India.
I stuck a GIF in chat.
Again, India gotta make you look at something.
How would you describe that?
Just for the listeners at home.
It's a long-sleeved, tight-fitting mesh that's adorned in crystals from neck to just under the knees, and has flowing bits of fabric, and it's in a denim blue. And the mesh is skin tone matched, so it looks like she's naked except for crystals.
Oh.
Nice.
See, now whenever it comes to these quasi-naked things, I can intellectually appreciate their beauty, but given that my grandmother also intellectually appreciated their beauty while I was younger, I hate them. They give me trauma.
Aw.
So grandma had style and taste and taught or attempted to teach you to be appreciative of the veritable art on display in front of you. and you
Well,
ran the other way.
that and Grandma didn't understand what transparent meant.
Entirely. Mm. Well, you never know how transparent things are until you take a bright flash photography. So, there's that. And Annabelle, what art thou ensembled in?
So Annabelle prefers to stay a bit professional. She wears like a tailored suit with a like a pencil skirt. And then she just has her gold Egyptian style jewelry that has been augmented with some extra bracelets and rings.
Gotcha. So like the pants-suited boss bitch attire.
Yep.
And here's the thing, and here's the question. You all look like $1 million. Meaning you all got these ensembles on discount. But, and, India, where are you hiding your large BFG that usually goes on your hip or at the small of your back? There's no such cover, camouflage on that ensemble. So as you all are dressed to the nines, there's a 10th yard to go. And that's sitting there on the bed, the large caliber revolver handgun that India has used to save your existences on multiple occurrences.
If you can't, I know there's a joke about the prison wallet here, but if you can't hide it on yourself, I am at the very least capable of flinging it to you.
You're a woman. Carry a purse.
Accessories, babe. Exactly, accessories. So, India will grab what's like, what do they call them? The Merry Widow robe thing that shoulder to floor and feathery, but no feathers, just like long shimmies with sleeves so that it covers her back, and then she grabs a thick belt and clasps the belt around her waist and then hooks the gun to the belt and back, and then the floating and movement of the jackety shimmies thing will hide her gun.
Okay. As once again, Joji expresses no understanding of female attire by just not even considering the idea of a purse.
Purse? What is that? Are we plebeians? What
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's been surrounded by so much like antique stuff throughout the course of his stay here in Bethany that like his understanding of a purse is basically just a fucking professor's satchel.
Usually, yes, especially as of late. Between the backpack, the rolling backpack that should be on someone's back but isn't and has wheels that you've all seen around the college campus. And the worst thing is, on the college campus, no one walks around with that many books where that would be necessary to save someone's back, and yet they do in droves, and 2 and 3 and 4 at once. And then the huge refrigerator size wooden backpacks that certain members of the college community carry on top of the messenger bags that are big enough to put small children in. Purses are declassé because they're inside those bags. They're never carried on their own. So it's hard for Joji, who was acclimated to the college community and that style of dress for the last few whiles, for him to have it consciously in his thought, wait, that's not what purses normally are. Purses are not normally kept in the backpack like that.
But they should be.
Wait a second. What the fuck is this wine thing? No.
No, you don't like the wine bag purse?
No, that's evil. Anyways, sorry for getting distracted. He just... Huh?
Well, you've seen box wine, and now you've seen bag wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just refill it. Just grab a box, throw it in there.
And of course, there is the obligatory, like, as everybody rejoins in the main room. Of course, once again, it is as the male in the room, it is my obligation. Joji does have this stunned moment as India reveals herself, kind of like the moment the bride walks into the church, as he's just shocked. Now, this may be because of the blood bond, this may be because he's a Toreador, it might be a lovely mix of both, but either way, he is despondent for a solid 30 seconds before he snaps himself back into gear. Okay, I don't think we'll have... Absolutely loses his train of thought. Whatever he was gonna say, out the window now. Anyways, on to you guys.
Your boy's adorable, India.
I know. He's kind of grown on me. So, what did we finish with deciding to do? I'm assuming that we have gotten rid of our guests, so that it's safe to talk now.
I'm pretty sure the doctor and the sex counselor are still lounging.
But you all have your separate rooms and the main antechamber where the wall of mirrors are. So
Yep.
It is a suite. You all have the space to have a conversation as you all come sauntering slow motion forward into the space, exiting your rooms as if you are stepping off of a runway, or you are in fact stepping onto a runway. The entire oohs and ahs and eyes that are on you, each other, one to the next, and us in general, because you all are from Bethany. You all are the line, and the line is very rarely anything that is even remotely classy and stylish. You all normally are, well, for lack of a better word, grimy. You are the rough barb that keeps the dangers at bay. You all have been traipsing, trekking, and traversing the countryside more often than not. But here you all are in the service of mirrory, and you look marvelous, darling. Simply marvelous.
Yes. Bring forth Edna mode. But no, we've pretty much, we've got everything that we need. I think we just need to have that conversation. Anybody against just seeing if we can talk our way into an advantageous position, accomplish our goals without needing to do any extracurricular activities? He said, still making very sure to not say anything incriminating, like, quote unquote, blow up the motel.
Yeah, let's think about what she said specifically, because I don't want to go somewhere we don't need to go. If we don't need to get rid of anybody, then we shouldn't have to do that, or we shouldn't do that. All we need to do is stop the flow, right? So how do we stop the flow without getting ourselves caught up in some silly shit?
Yeah, absolutely. Just And he kind of leans in to whisper, and he's just like, to be perfectly honest, I can see a path to convincing the prince to more or less strangle the rest of the Tremere in order to maintain his position if we convince him that they are in the process of trying to dethrone him. Which they literally are, so.
That sounds like a good idea.
It does sound like a compelling argument and an easier way to begin than. It's always easier to escalate than de-escalate, right? That's where I'm coming from.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean,
So we distract, get his attention, talk to him, and if he don't acquiesce, then we do the other thing.
yeah, no, I believe that it would be better to get him to cooperate with this than to basically get the entire city trying to murder us. Well, if we get caught. Anyways, he says, leaning back out and being a bit louder, I'm very much looking forward to this. I think so far we've had a very warm welcome. And I'm feeling really chipper about the whole thing, honestly. I can barely even remember the sadness that I had prior to coming in here about my house being Anyways,
You
off
should
we go.
darling. You should go gamble yourself a new one.
Yep.
Yay, gambler nil.
Absolutely. I'm very much in the mood to go and waste some money. So who has the money?
I can.
Charge, right?
Oh,
I can-
yeah, but
I can float a little.
oh fuck yeah! All right, let's go play some poker.
Blackjack has actual skill. I guess so does poker. But you're not very good at bluffing.
Okay, fine.
You're
Blackjack it
better
is.
at math.
Yeah. I hate it when people point out that I wear my emotions on my face. It's frustrating.
You
So-
really wear your emotions on your face.
For the most part, given that his emotions, the general amount of time is either anger or sadness, it's not as easily noticed, but yeah. Joji has a wonderful composure of 1. He is physically incapable of keeping his emotions off of his face.
Yeah, you wanted to play poker.
Yeah, that was the childish excitement of, let me try this thing that I've never tried. And then Annabelle was like, darling, you'd be shit at it.
I can teach you how to play poker.
I
just wouldn't start with the biggest bets while you're learning.
Alright, no, let's do blackjack. Like you said, I'm probably gonna be a lot better at something that doesn't require me to, hide my excitement. And thus goes the very subtle way that he hides the fact that they all mutually agreed for him to go count cards.
It is, in essence, it is a heist that you all are in the midst of. You all plan on defrauding the casino to such an amount that it draws the attention and direct need of conversation of Abigail, the Ventru Primogen whose empire you are in and preparing to set aflame. You're hoping that he's more Nero than Alexander, but that you all don't know. You all haven't had the opportunity of spending time in the presence of the Shreveport Ventru Primogen.
There you go. Thank you for clearing that up. Well, I've been saying Prince this entire fucking time.
And as you all set about robbing the casino right beneath its nose, it is 12 after the hour. Let's take a quick 10 to be back at 22 after, at which point Joji will apply his skill. You all will apply distraction. And if you are successful, you will effectively, well, really kick the hornet's nest. I'll see you guys back here in 10. Well, welcome back, everyone. When we stepped away, the Coterie had amassed the trappings of the fortunes at their disposal. The plan was penciled in the broad strokes, and the execution was in the offing. Not redoing the same mistake of not touching their gold cards to that small space there, roughly waist height to the left or and right of the elevator. They do so now and are able to have the privacy of their personal shuttle through space and time as they reach the gaming floor. The usual accoutrements of a gaming floor. The bright, whirling, twirling, attracting lights of the one-armed bandits, not accosting them. The usual noise and clutter of several hundred conversations, some with just one person having it with themselves, not bombarding their senses. The usual American ideal of what a casino should be. Its maze-like structure designed to confuse and confound, not assaulting them. Stepping out of their personal, private elevator onto the gaming floor is akin to teleporting across the ocean to Marrakesh or Casablanca or Rio. It is almost antithetical to where you actually are in the American South. It is quiet, subtle conversations being had, a clear delineation of those who have and those who don't, based on the games, the tables, and the croupier and other dealers who are present. It is stepping forward into class and style and back several hundred years as to what a casino should be. It speaks of excessive wealth, luxury, and class. It very much is a slap in the face. This is supposed to be the Las Vegas of Louisiana. This is supposed to be Atlantic City in Louisiana. This is supposed to be, and it's not. It is as if you all have materialized on the Grand Riviera and all of its baccarat backroom elitism here in the American South. It is the sort of thing that is disconcerting because there is clearly several generations of etiquette on display. It is disconcerting and bothersome because there's a weight of, oh, we know better than you do. It's not the loud, brash, big, bright, horribly, overly gaudy of Las Vegas or Atlantic City or any of the other casinos you all have had the opportunity of spending time in, around, or near. So in short, as you all step over the threshold of the elevator, a hush falls over the crowd. Everyone holds their bated breath watching your arrival. Fortunes are amassed and lost on the toss of a die, the spin of a wheel, or the selection of a number. And yes, in fact, there is still an active casino game being played.
Well, he looks out over the whole thing and takes note of the dulled impact this time around in comparison to the overwhelming awe that was their initial entry. And with that smile still clearly on his face, thanks to the good doctor, who fixes all of your ails, just gonna be like, clasp his hands together, rubs them. Where's the blackjack table? Because I have not a fucking clue.
India was kind of paying attention on their way in, so she would have kind of maybe loosely mapped the floor. And usually the high roller tables are set a little aside from just the everyday people table. Do we want to start at the regular tables, or we want to go straight to high roll?
I think it looks more suspicious if we start at the high rollers, doesn't it? Maybe win a bit. Maybe win a few. He is whispering this to her. Maybe win a few at the low, and then act as if like I've gotten it properly, blah, 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 and then move over the high rollers. Or do we want to be more suspicious? Yeah, on the suspicious? Okay, high roller it is. Off I go to see the wizard.
Await the cards in your pocket with an untold amount of riches at your disposal. There is no way in being creatures of the modernity of America that you all don't realize that you all have at your disposal in this moment more cash than you have had the opportunity of having access to previously. There is no way that you all don't realize the incidental good and the long con you could play on the world around you all with what you have in your pocket. That gold weighted card. And it is not a card painted gold. It's not a plasticized veneer. It is actually a card laden with actual gold, made from and fabricated with actual gold. Its coolness to the touch, easily worn by even your faint heat. One of the links in Marley's chain. And while India roughly mapped out the floor, as you all make your way to what should be a blackjack table, a high rolling table, where you can see, instead of chits or cards or visual markers that you all are accustomed to on the table, there aren't any chips there. Everyone has these square credit card size things. Some of them, in red, and some of them in burnished copper, some of them in a blue that's designed to look like nickel, and then some of them in platinum, and others are gold-ish. They're clearly plastic. But those cards are the chips. Those cards are the signs of value. And with them being the colors that they are, you slowly pick up on the fact that people are literally betting with mortgages in neighborhoods. and blocks of communities and businesses. And who has a humanity lower than 6 or higher than 7? So 5 and lower, or 8 and higher.
I think I'm at 8.
Once more, what was that? I'm sorry, I was googling whether or not card counting is illegal.
Lower than 6 or higher than, or 8 and higher.
For which particular combination?
Humanity.
Oh, I am higher than 6. I believe I am. Oh no, wait, I believe I am 6 because you start at 7, correct?
Most times, yes.
All right, yeah, I'm at 6.
Not lower than 5 and not higher than 8.
Actually, I need to adjust my character status. Pursuer knocks one off of you.
You all approach what looks like the actual blackjack table. You realize that they're not playing blackjack; they're playing baccarat. The game is similar, requires a similar skill set, but it is in fact a differing game. While that is the case, the problem that you have, Lita, as one of the normal, everyday wealthy, well in excess of what is the average in Bethany, but here there is such a gross, both in count and disgust, level of wealth being wagered and loss. You know that there is no way that the money present here, what is circulating here, does not in fact determine the outcome of various communities. Yours, your neighbors, Bethany being the ass end of every municipal power. That's all determined in rooms like this. And if you're not mistaken, probably this fucking room. There are people dying, kindred losing their fight against the dark, and knowledge being burned like some random Dr. Seuss book because of this room. The incensed, righteous fury bubbling up in you is, well, a new feeling. An uncomfortable one. Because there's no way you could feign ignorance any longer. Bethany is fucked because of places like this. The Primogen Council of this city allowing things like this to happen is the reason why your research is floundering, why knowledge is hidden from you. Places like this room specifically, is the shining example of why you needed to die to be possessed of any semblance of actual knowledge as to how the world works.
Oh, I guess I'm glad my face is concealed. Yeah, these guys all suck.
They do. Right, so,
Go on.
mhm.
I'm just gonna ask if she actually expresses this or if that's just an internal monologue.
Well-
I think I keep it internal for the most part.
Oh, okay. for the most part, meaning that what could be expressed is primarily just ticks on the face.
Pretty much. Maybe a little clenching of the fist.
Understood. So then,
India, Annabelle, how are you all going to gather your resources and make it easy for Joji to take this place for as much as he possibly can?
I'm gonna sit just beyond where the dealer is, and I'm just gonna run some awe so people are not paying attention to the table.
Absolutely.
It'll be harder for them to concentrate.
India was a pageant girl. She woke up. She was brought up poise and grace, put it on a show type thing. So she will be the distraction. She will loosely flirt with the other men at the table, keep them distracted and not thinking about what's going on so that they're not playing to their best ability. That kind of thing. Like, oh, I don't know how to do this. Could you show me? That kind of thing.
No.
And lastly but not leastly, Lita, with the realization as to what's happening here, what's actually being bartered and gambled and lost and changing hands, with that being obvious to her in this moment, how is she either helping or keeping herself from destroying this place? Because this is, how does she stop herself from flipping the coin changer's table? You know, as you do.
Yeah, like Jesus.
She's investing in backing Joji right now, and is kind of just thinking it would be nice to kill the guy responsible for this.
Okay, so we have our schools of thought. We have our paths forward, which, well, you know, forward always is the best way to go in these situations. Start at the top, shall we?
Okay.
With each of you all who have a success above 3 will add 1 die to Joji's roll. So Annabelle, adding awe and acting as a visual conversational distraction in that way. Would you be so kind as to roll your charisma subterfuge? India, the exact same pool. And Lita, being your support is more silent and more in being just noticeable enough as you keep from, well, running amok. Be so kind as to go ahead and roll your manipulation and subterfuge.
Ooh,
As high as you all can.
I did pretty good.
Ooh.
I got 6 effective because we get the +1.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you rolled, India? Or is
No.
that the roll right there? Okay, gotcha. I'm going to use this to separate it.
We were older.
Well, I guess that is the exact same result.
Yes. And now we await fate's assistance of Lita's efforts.
Nobu, you humming that song just threw my brain back into 51st Dates.
Well, do I? I mean, I could re-roll if I really wanted to.
No, but I'm unsure. Would higher successes on hers actually affect this, or was it just a succeed, add one die to my roll, fail, don't?
Oh no, it is definitely again as high as you can.
Yeah.
Or choose, or not.
You know, India, I think 3 was just your number for today.
Yeah, probably.
It was very much a this is just how things are. All right, so with the results being what they are, what am I doing?
1, 3 minus 1. So that is, instead of 4, you only have a +3, Joji.
Oh,
Okay.
but
That
Lita got a +1 from Mirrory, so that's a 3.
Oh,
yes, which is not a 3 higher. You needed a 3 at base, not a total 3. Remember, everyone above 3 gives a 1.
Oh, one
Yep.
above. Okay, gotcha.
well, would that keep me from getting a negative?
Let's find out.
Alright.
Your role, as you are literally counting cards and outplaying the house, you have a plus total of 3.
All right.
Be so kind as to roll your wits plus larceny +3.
Ooh. All right. I am good at this, but could I make an argument for academics?
No, you're not researching anything, unfortunately.
Ah, big sad, big sad. All right, wits plus larceny +3. Would heightened senses play into this visually?
Yes.
Okay. So 5 +2 +3, 10 total. At a hunger level of 2 due to Mirror Ray's influence, we're gonna go roll as high as possible. Comment +1 success level from Mirror Ray, and boom, select character. Joji, here we go. Oh,
Hey, look at that. You could avoid messy, or you could enjoy this messy critical and be super obvious.
I think it's pretty clear to everyone that's ever played VTM with me that I embrace such events more often than I attempt to avoid them.
Well, then you should re-roll those failures.
Alright, we're gonna go balls to the wall then. There we go. Mark willpower use. Boom. For a total of 10 success. And him being in a jolly good mood, it's almost like cocky and very... wait, before I describe this, actually. Nobu, give me my spice of the day. What does this messy physically embody itself as? How does this come flow?
You all were shocked and surprised walking into the gaming floor and not being bombarded with the lights and sounds of your typical Vegas game floor. You all were slightly offended that their definition of class and grace was a Eurocentric idea. You're not on the Riviera. You're not in Monaco. You're not in Macau. It should not reflect the non-American gambler. And so, as India and Annabelle and Lita are providing you the perfect cover so no one realizes exactly what you're doing, you instantaneously become that wild, overcoked Las Vegas gambler. You are salivating at the mouth and, oh yeah, fucker hit me, let's go, come on, let's get him.
Oh, yeah.
In a library in a place where style and grace results from the quiet conversations and, oh, I'll take, yes, go on, hit the place. You are the antithesis of the American 1970s cokehead, amped up with a gun swirling. Oh, you want to come for me? I'll show you your little cockroaches. Say hello to my little fucking friend.
Now, let's be real here. If I'm acting like the average frat bro in a sorority house, I don't know a single soul who's gonna look at that and be like, yeah, that guy's intelligent enough to count cards. But yeah, there is very much this yeah, he's very much this cocky kind of American elitism, as he's just like, makes sense for a game started in France to be this fucking easy. Are you kidding me? Leans over to India. Come on, I may not need it, but you think you can give me a kiss for good luck?
Give him a little nibble.
India's just like, oh my goodness. And then she gives him a big old kiss on the lips.
The entire time he's looking over at the other members of the board. Whenever she breaks away, he's like, yeah, no, I get it, I have everything, and soon you'll have nothing. Sucks to be you, but hey, at least you get to watch.
It gets out of hand quickly and easily. You're at a table where there's enough on the table to rival the GDP of most states beneath the Mason-Dixon line. You are literally looking at enough on that table to change a state fate. You could write the budget for Tennessee. You could almost triple the state budget and bring them out of a deficit in Arkansas. What is on that table is enough to rewrite the history of a multiple baker's dozen of thousands of humans out there in the night right now. And most people living and mostly dead would take that as a victory well earned and walk away with that bit. But no. In the grip of your beast, understanding the way that things work, understanding what your goal is, there is victory or death for you in this moment. And as you press your luck and score another win, the point where you're no longer playing against the other players. You're not trying to outrun your compatriots as the bear chases you. You are turning and engaging the bear in a no-holds-barred, catch-as-catch-can wrestling match. You are dancing along the precipice of destruction and doing it with a jaunty tune in your heart and a smile on your face. Boss and the floor manager and circulating security find themselves in your cipher, and they watch as you continue amassing a fortune. They continue watching you. And then it happens. There's enough on the table where the casino is attempting to have you default. There's a break taken with the third dealer, the third croupier who's been brought over to cool you. They've doubled the shoe. They've tripled the shoe. They've minimized bets. They've done every trick in the trade save the last one. And as you expect the dealer who is stepping back from the table, showing that there's nothing in their hands so that they can be changed out, that there would be another dealer. That's fine. These things happen. You know how that works. You all are waiting with bated breath for which dealer's going to come out that Joji is going to put under the table. And then, as you all look left and right, the staff is gathered around, and the quiet murmurs of support from the other, no, he's doing quite well, has gotten to the point where you all have the bulk of the floor watching the game being played. And you all are working overtime, distracting anyone from to see there's actually another game being played. Nail steps behind the table, undoes his jacket, rolls up his sleeves, adjusts his signet ring, gives a quick stretch. Then you grasp this game. Shall we play? The realization that you all will be playing not just for the house, but against the house directly in the way that no other player has had the opportunity. The owner, the operator, the chief financial officer, the primogen of the Ventru of Shreveport steps into the dealer's position at the table directly across from Joji in the grips of his beast. In front of all of these mortals and the millions at home who don't realize their fate are being changed. Toss of the next cards pull. And with that sitting there before everyone, I'd like to thank you all for a lovely episode. And I'll see you guys next time.
Annabelle, you know I can't say no.
Oh no, India was gonna say the same thing. India was gonna lean over
So much.
and grab his arm and be like, "Baby, I think we're good. We done took all their money," and